So in your dream state, do you get up out of bed, keep it right over there, say, excuse me, honey, wait, get out, and walk over and say, there's a galley of a new book, and there's a pen here, and there's some glass of water, I think I'll have a drink of that. There's a microphone stand, there's things. Do you do that? No, you don't do that. Because you enter your dream without any doubt. So what you do in your dream state is, are you ready? Shoo! Stay alert. And you bring it to you, don't you? In your dream state. Why? Because you have the power of your intention, can have an idea, and whatever you need for the fulfillment of your dream, you bring to you. Here it is. Here it is. Whatever you need.
Spread love, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to this deep dive into unlocking your true potential. You know, we're going to be diving into an excerpt from one of Wayne Dyer's motivational talks.
Okay.
And let me tell you, this one is chock full of powerful insights that I think could really change the way you see yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the coolest concepts we're going to be unpacking in this deep dive is how our dream state can actually help us understand our potential in our waking lives.
Yeah, that's a really interesting concept that Dyer uses something as like familiar as dreaming.
Yeah.
To illustrate such a profound point. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
In your dreams, anything's possible.
Oh, totally.
Right? You can fly, you can teleport, you can speak fluent dolphin if that's what you want to do. There's no hesitation.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
It's just pure creation.
Just pure intention and creation. And Dyer argues that we can actually tap into that same creative energy in our everyday lives.
It really makes you wonder, like, why does it feel so effortless in dreams?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
I can barely parallel park in real life, but in my dreams, I'm like a stunt driver.
Right.
What happens to that limitless possibility when we wake up?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? What happens? I think that in our waking lives, we allow self-doubt and societal conditioning to dictate what we believe is possible for ourselves. And we kind of start accepting these limitations as absolute truths, forgetting that they're actually often just
beliefs.
learned beliefs, not inherent realities. Dyer actually calls these learned beliefs paradigms. And he suggests that by challenging them, we can actually break free from these self-imposed boundaries that are holding us back.
So you're saying that, according to Dyer, doubt isn't something that we're like born with, it's something we learn.
Yeah.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's a very powerful idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because it really makes you think about all the times you've talked yourself out of something.
Right.
Because you doubted your ability to succeed.
Exactly.
And what if those limitations were just illusions?
Right.
What if you had the power to rewrite the rules of what's possible for you?
It's like you're saying we have the power within us the whole time.
Exactly. And that's exactly the potential that Dyer's urging us to tap into. He believes that by shifting our focus away from doubt and towards our inherent power, we can actually achieve things we never thought possible.
I like that. And he talks about how, like, one way to start making that shift is to focus on giving rather than getting. You know, almost like by dedicating ourselves to a purpose larger than ourselves, we can kind of transcend those personal doubts and fears.
Yeah, that's such a powerful insight. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
When we actually shift our attention from our own limitations to how we can contribute to something bigger, it changes our whole perspective.
Right.
It becomes less about what we lack and more about the impact we can make.
He uses this awesome analogy to describe the process of overcoming doubt and stepping into our full potential. He compares it to waking up from a dream where anything is possible. Like we've just forgotten how to access that power in our waking lives.
Yeah, it's like we've traded the boundless creativity of our childhood imagination for the perceived limitations of adulthood.
Right.
But Dyer argues that that magic is still within us. Just waiting to be rekindled.
I like that a lot.
It's a conscious choice to step back into that space of limitless possibility.
So how do we make that choice? How do we actually start banishing doubt and embracing that power of intention in our everyday lives?
That's a great question, and that's what we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve into specific strategies and insights from Dyer that can help you rewrite your limiting beliefs and unlock that incredible potential that lies within you.
I don't know about you, but I'm already feeling inspired. I can't wait to hear more. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more from Wayne Dyer and the secrets to tapping into your full potential.
Awesome.
So we've talked about doubt as like a major roadblock on the path to our full potential, but how do we actually start dismantling those roadblocks?
Yeah.
What are some things we can do?
Yeah, so one of the first things that Dyer really emphasizes is recognizing our inherent worthiness. He suggests that a lot of our self-doubt stems from kind of internalizing messages that tell us we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we're not talented enough.
Right.
Like we've bought into a limited version of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that limited version becomes our reality.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think we've all been there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where we let those negative voices take over those thoughts, like, I can't do this, or I'm not worthy.
Right.
But it sounds like what Dyer is saying is that those thoughts aren't true.
Exactly. They're just noise.
Yeah.
And Dyer challenges us to actually reject those limiting beliefs and embrace the truth of our inherent worthiness. He reminds us that we are all unique expressions of something bigger, each with our own gifts and talents to offer the world.
So how do we actually start to, like, quiet those negative voices and tune into that sense of worthiness?
Well, Dyer is a big proponent of affirmations. And I don't mean just mindlessly repeating phrases, you know, but really feeling the truth of those statements deep within ourselves. Like, for example, instead of saying, I'm going to be successful, he suggests saying something like, I am worthy of success. And I am attracting it into my life now.
That's interesting. So it's like shifting from like a wish or a hope to like a statement of fact.
Exactly.
Almost like you're already living in that reality.
Precisely. What's so powerful about affirmations is that they help reprogram our subconscious mind. You know, replacing those old negative beliefs with empowering new ones. Think of like planting seeds of possibility in the fertile ground of your mind. As you water those seeds with consistent repetition and genuine belief, they begin to sprout and grow into tangible results.
So let's say someone's struggling with doubt about their ability to achieve a specific goal. How could they actually use an affirmation to like counteract that doubt?
Absolutely. Let's try it together. Think of a specific goal that you're working towards. And identify that doubt that's holding you back. Now take that doubt and flip it into its positive opposite. Phrase it as if it's already true in the present tense. Like, for example, if your doubt is, I'm not capable of leading this project, your affirmation could be, I'm a capable and confident leader, and I am successfully guiding this project to completion.
Wow. Yeah, I can already feel that.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing how just shifting the language can make such a difference.
Absolutely. And the key is to repeat this affirmation regularly with conviction, allowing yourself to truly embody the feeling of it. The more you do this, the more you'll start to believe it. And the more likely you are to act in ways that align with that belief.
So we've got our affirmations working for us. We're starting to believe in ourselves a bit more.
Right.
What else can we do to kind of build on that unshakable self-belief?
Well, Dyer also emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with supportive people. Those who believe in your potential and uplift you with their positive energy.
Absolutely.
It's like having your own personal cheerleading squad, reminding you of your strengths.
Totally. Yeah.
And encouraging you to keep going when you face setbacks.
And on the other side of that, we all know how draining it can be to be around people
who
are constantly negative or doubtful.
Absolutely.
Like their energy rubs off on you.
Right. Think about it this way. The people we spend time with have a profound impact on our mindset and beliefs. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity and doubt, it becomes much harder to maintain a positive outlook on yourself and your goals.
It's like that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So choosing your companions wisely is crucial for your personal growth. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who inspire you, who challenge you to grow. Their belief in you will help reinforce your own self-belief. And their positive energy will empower you to reach for greater heights.
So we've addressed like the internal work, recognizing our worthiness, using affirmations, surrounding ourselves with positive influences. But what about taking action?
Yeah.
How do we actually move from thinking to doing, especially when doubt is still lingering in the background?
Well, that's where Dyer's emphasis on action comes in.
Okay.
He argues that action is the antidote to doubt.
Okay.
Taking action, even if it's just small steps at first,
Mm-hmm.
builds momentum and creates a sense of progress.
It's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis when we're feeling doubtful.
Absolutely.
We kind of overthink things, we hesitate, we procrastinate.
Yeah. But Dyer reminds us that it's not about making giant leaps all at once.
Yeah.
It's about consistently taking small, manageable steps in the direction of your dreams.
So it's like that old adage, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And each step you take, no matter how small,
Yeah.
builds your confidence and brings you closer to your desired outcome.
Okay.
Think of it like climbing a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be able to see the summit from the base,
Right.
but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll eventually reach your destination.
I like that a lot. I'm starting to see how action can be a game changer when it comes to overcoming doubt. But what about when we take action and things don't go as planned?
Yeah.
You know, that can be like a breeding ground for self-doubt.
That's a great point, and it leads us to another key principle that Dyer highlights.
Okay.
Detaching from the outcome.
Detaching from the outcome.
Yes. Now, I know that might sound counterintuitive.
It does a little bit, yeah.
But bear with me.
I'm listening.
Dyer explains that when we become overly fixated on a specific outcome,
Right.
we actually create resistance that can block our progress.
Hmm.
It's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole.
So it's not about giving up on our goals.
No.
But more about loosening our grip on how we think they need to unfold?
Exactly. When we're too attached to a particular outcome,
Okay.
we limit ourselves to only one path.
Right.
And we may miss out on other opportunities that align more closely with our true purpose.
So how do we find that balance between striving for our goals, but also being open to those detours, those unexpected detours?
It's about surrendering to the journey.
Okay.
Trusting that the universe or whatever higher power you believe in has a plan for you.
Okay.
It's about being open to receiving whatever that plan may be, even if it looks different than what you initially envisioned.
So detaching from the outcome doesn't mean that we don't care about the result.
Right.
It just means we trust that we're being guided towards what's best for us, even if it's not what we expect.
Precisely. It's about releasing the need to control every aspect of the journey.
Okay.
And trusting that the process will unfold as it's meant to.
This has all been super insightful. I think our listeners probably feeling empowered to take some action.
I hope so.
But before we move on, is there anything else that we should keep in mind as we kind of navigate this whole process?
Yes, there's one more crucial element that Dyer emphasizes.
Okay, what's that?
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
She suggests that when we focus on what we're grateful for,
Okay.
it shifts our energy from lack to abundance.
That makes sense. When you're feeling grateful for what you already have,
Right.
it's harder to get caught up in the doubt and worry about what you don't have.
It's like tuning your internal radio station to a frequency of positivity and abundance.
I like that.
And when you operate from that frequency, you attract more of the same into your life.
Okay, so how do we actually make gratitude a more consistent part of our lives?
Well, Dyer suggests practicing gratitude daily, even for the seemingly small things. You know, it could be as simple as appreciating a beautiful sunset,
Right.
a delicious meal, a kind gesture from a stranger.
Yeah.
The more you cultivate gratitude, the more you realize how much you already have to be thankful for.
Right.
And this abundance mindset helps us overcome feelings of scarcity and lack, which, as we discussed, are often at the root of doubt and insecurity.
I love that. It's such a simple but powerful practice.
Yeah, it is.
And it ties in with everything else we talked about, recognizing our worthiness,
yeah.
using affirmations, surrounding ourselves with supportive people, taking action, and detaching from outcomes.
It's all interconnected.
It is.
These practices work together to create a powerful foundation for self-belief and personal growth. And when you operate from this foundation, you're much better equipped to face any challenge that comes your way.
That's a perfect segue into the next part of our deep dive.
Right.
We've covered a lot of ground in terms of the mindset shifts and the practical tools we can use to banish doubt, but there's still so much more to explore.
Indeed. In the final part, we'll delve into specific strategies for aligning our actions with our intentions, tapping into our intuition, and ultimately creating the life we desire.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into the wisdom of Wayne Dyer.
Okay.
So far, we've learned about how doubt can really hold us back.
Right.
And we've explored some really powerful tools for overcoming it. But now let's get practical.
Okay.
If you're ready to like take control and start living a life where doubt takes a back seat, this is for you.
Absolutely.
One of the most effective ways to actually move from intention to action is by setting clear and specific goals.
Right.
It's kind of like creating a roadmap for your journey.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a clear destination in mind, it's easier to stay focused and motivated, even when those whispers of doubt try to creep in.
Absolutely. But sometimes setting goals can feel kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially when you're aiming for something really big.
Right.
That's where Dyer's advice on goal setting can be really helpful. He suggests writing down your goals.
Oh, okay.
And reviewing them regularly.
Right.
This simple act makes them more tangible.
Right.
And reinforces your commitment to achieving them.
Yeah. It's like planting those seeds of intention in a physical form.
Exactly. And here's another tip from Dyer that can be super helpful.
Okay.
Break down large goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
This makes the whole journey less daunting.
Right.
And allows you to celebrate those mini victories along the way, which can really boost your motivation.
Right.
And reinforce your belief in yourself.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by this huge mountain you have to climb, you're focusing on conquering one base camp at a time.
Exactly. Remember that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Yeah, totally.
It's the same principle here.
Okay.
By breaking down your goals into bite-sized pieces, you're not only making them more achievable, but also creating a sense of momentum and progress as you check off each milestone.
That's huge. I think so many of us get stuck in that all or nothing thinking.
Right.
But this approach makes it feel so much more approachable.
Absolutely.
So we've got our goals written down. We've broken them down into like smaller steps.
Right.
What else can we do to solidify those intentions and make them a reality?
Well, Dyer's a big believer in the power of visualization.
Visualization.
And I'm not just talking about daydreaming here.
Okay.
This is about creating a vivid mental picture of yourself already living that life you want.
Okay.
Imagine yourself achieving those goals, feeling those emotions, experiencing the success.
Yeah, I can feel that already. But how does visualization actually work?
Right.
Is it just positive thinking?
It's more than just positive thinking.
Okay.
Visualization is a really powerful tool for activating your subconscious mind and aligning your energy with your goals.
Okay.
When you repeatedly visualize yourself succeeding, you're essentially sending a message to the universe or to your own inner power that this is what you're creating.
I like that.
It's like planting the seed and then nurturing it with your imagination.
Almost like you're giving your subconscious mind a blueprint to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's where those affirmations we talked about earlier come back into play.
Okay.
Dyer suggests using affirmations along with visualization. As you're visualizing your desired outcome, repeat those empowering statements that reinforce your belief in yourself and your ability to achieve your dreams.
Yeah, it's like creating a soundtrack for your visualization, adding another layer of emotion that amplifies the power of your intentions.
Absolutely.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Right.
This is really starting to feel like a recipe for success.
It is.
But what about those times, when we hit roadblocks or setbacks?
Yeah.
It can be so easy to let doubt creep back in during those moments.
That's true. That's a great point.
Yeah.
And it highlights the importance of seeking support. Remember Dyer's advice about surrounding ourselves with positive and supportive people?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we need more than just our friends and family cheering us on.
So what do? Hire a marching band.
Well, maybe not a marching band, but seriously, seeking guidance from mentors, coaches, or even therapists can be incredibly valuable.
Right.
It's like having a seasoned navigator on board your ship.
Yeah.
Helping you navigate through those choppy waters of self-doubt.
Okay.
And keeping you on course towards your destination.
They can provide that objective feedback and encouragement and help us develop strategies for overcoming those challenges.
Exactly. They can also help you see your blind spots and challenge you to step outside your comfort zone in ways that might feel intimidating on your own.
I like that analogy of the navigator because sometimes it does feel like we're lost at sea when we're facing all that doubt and uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Having someone to guide us can make all the difference.
It really can.
Speaking of guidance, there's another source of wisdom that Dyer talks about that I find really fascinating.
Okay.
Intuition. He says that we all have this inner voice that kind of guides us toward our highest good.
Right.
But we often drown it out with all the noise, you know, of our doubts and fears.
Like we have this internal GPS system that knows the most direct route to our destination. But we've turned the volume down so low that we can barely hear it.
So how do we actually tune back into that inner guidance system?
That's a great question.
How do we learn to trust our intuition, especially when it might be telling us something different from what our logical mind is saying?
Right. Well, Dyer suggests that we need to cultivate stillness in order to hear those whispers of intuition.
Okay.
He recommends practices like meditation journaling and spending time in nature to quiet the mind and connect with that deeper wisdom.
It's like creating space for that inner voice to emerge.
Exactly.
I've definitely noticed in my own life that when I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, it's so much harder to access my intuition.
Right.
But when I take the time to quiet my mind, the answers seem to flow so much more effortlessly.
That's the thing about intuition. It often speaks to us in very subtle ways.
Right.
It might be a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Or a sudden flash of insight. Or even a synchronistic event that seems to guide us in a particular direction.
That's so true. I've definitely had times where I've ignored my intuition.
Yeah.
And it's always led me down a less fulfilling path.
Right.
But when I trust those gut feelings, even when they don't make logical sense at the time, things just seem to fall into place so much easier.
That's the magic of intuition.
Yeah.
It's not always logical or explainable, but it often leads us to the most aligned path.
Okay.
And sometimes our intuition guides us in unexpected ways.
Right.
You know, it might lead us to take a different route than we originally planned, or it might present us with opportunities that we hadn't even considered.
It's like a reminder to stay open to those unexpected detours.
Exactly.
To trust that maybe we're being guided towards something even better than we could have imagined.
Yes,
It's exciting.
It is.
But also a little bit scary.
It's a journey of faith and surrender.
Yeah, it is.
But here's the beautiful thing.
What's that?
The more you practice trusting your intuition, the stronger and clearer it becomes.
Okay.
It's like a muscle that gets stronger with use.
And that brings us to another important point that Dyer makes.
Oh, yeah.
This journey of personal growth is ongoing.
Yes, it is.
There will be times when that doubt creeps back in.
Right.
When those old limiting beliefs resurface.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah, it's like learning to ride a bike.
Right.
You might fall a few times.
You will.
But each time you get back up, you're strengthening your balance and becoming more confident.
Absolutely.
And just like learning any new skill, banishing doubt, and stepping into your full potential, it takes practice and perseverance.
It does.
It's not a one-time event. It's a continuous process of self-discovery and growth.
Absolutely. But as we've explored in this deep dive, there are so many tools and strategies we can use to navigate this journey with more grace and confidence.
It's been so inspiring.
It has.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Wayne Dyer, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
What would you dare to dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
Let that question sink in. Explore its depths. See where it leads you. For within that question lies the key to unlocking the limitless potential that resides within each and every one of us.